middle class individual or a common individual is working 8 to 10 hours, even 2 jobs, and they're still struggling to make ends meet, this one hurts.
I believe Canadians deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money in their pocket.
They deserve better.
They definitely do deserve better. These are some unfortunate facts that I'm going to spell out for you. Very rarely, when a price of a good or service goes up, does it come down. But do not expect that the cost of milk, bread, eggs will go down substantially.
Hello everyone, welcome to V&B's podcast again. Very excited to have my good friend Dr. Sabharwal again. Dr. Sabharwal, welcome on our podcast.
Thanks, Vrind. How are you?
Good, thank you so much for asking. So today I've got an interesting topic. It's going to be a topic and then we're going to veer off into different topics. So I want to talk about, I know we've previously touched it, I want to talk about the Canadian economy once again, but predominantly focusing on the housing crisis and the unemployment.
Well, unemployment, as you know, we just shed thousands of jobs.
So I just want to dig deeper. The causes, what's really driving this, what is going to be the end to this, how long are we going to go on this roller coaster? People are scared.
Absolutely, they're scared.
People are scared. That's why people are not buying. Groceries have skyrocketed. So it's like a very I might have a smile on my face, or you might see me energetic. This is something that really boils my blood because the common individual is really struggling.
Absolutely.
And I want to figure out and find ways that we can help you.
The Canadian economy right now has a lot of issues.
Right.
Okay? Post-COVID,
Yes.
when the government tried to, and I would say successfully so to some extent, helped individuals so they could survive those lockdowns.
Yes.
After that, you've seen prices shoot up for everything.
Everything.
And that's not only in Canada.
Yes.
We must acknowledge that inflation is not something which is isolated to the Canadian economy.
Right.
This has happened throughout the globe.
Right.
But what the issue in Canada is that we are a very large country with a relatively small number of people living here, 40 million. We have, in the recent past, had an exorbitant amount of stress
Yes.
on our infrastructure,
Yes.
given the fact that we had a lot of newcomers come into Canada in a very short period of time.
Right.
And what our infrastructure was set up to accommodate, we just overburdened it. On top of that, let's be cognizant of the fact that the Bank of Canada raised its interest rates when the governor of the Bank of Canada said that they wouldn't raise interest rates for a long period of time, but they did raise them in order to curtail inflation. Now, let's also be cognizant of the fact that the President of the United States of America has imposed 35% tariffs on those goods which are not part of the USMC agreement. Companies have lots of questions. And when companies have lots of questions, they don't want to invest. They don't want to grow. They want to survive. And sometimes for survival, that means shedding off jobs. And we are in a downward spiral. And this is not going to get better until and unless all levels of government put their heads together, work quickly, effectively for the average person, and ensure that they do something to stimulate this economy. Otherwise, it's going to get, this isn't even bad yet. Wait till where it goes.
Wow, that's scary. So you're saying the economy's even going to get worse?
Absolutely. Do you know why I say that?
Yes.
I'll tell you why I say that. Everybody talks about, in the mainstream media, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Very few people are talking about what has been passed in the United States of America, which, as President Trump calls it, the big beautiful bill.
Right.
This is a bill which is trying to repatriate lots of jobs and industries back to the US. The Canadian and US economy over the last many decades is an economy
Submerged,
which works together,
Yes.
hand in hand. Our supply chains are merged. Our manufacturing is merged. If this gets dissected, what's going to happen to Canadian industry, which we already have very little of?
Right.
That's going to be a massive blow. And our taxes here are so high, people have no disposable income at the end of the day, a majority of individuals. In fact, Premier Doug Ford yesterday gave an announcement in Windsor, and he is on the record to say that he wants to have a talk with Prime Minister Carney so that Canadians can keep more of their hard-earned money. This is the Premier of Ontario saying he wants to have a heart-to-heart with the Prime Minister of Canada, and he is echoing what every single Canadian is feeling, that we
Right.
have no money at all.
Right. This is, yeah. I'm out of words.
This is a reality.
Yes.
And if you think it's going to get better, I am so sorry. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm absolutely wrong. But the direction that we're heading in is not good.
What do you think about the housing crisis? Like
The housing crisis was a massive thing before the election, before tariffs. I don't read about it much anymore. I actually read that there's an oversupply of condos in Toronto. If there's an oversupply of condos one place, and people are looking for housing, then why can't we make those two come together and try to solve that housing crisis?
affordability.
Individuals who have bought at the peak, close to the peak, they can't afford for their to sell at such a big loss.
Right.
Furthermore, if you sell a property within less than a year, the CRA is going to come after you saying that this is not a capital gain, this is business income, and you're going to be taxed on that. And you could also trigger an HST audit. You're stuck whichever way you go. What are people to do?
Right.
And even if somebody has a well-paying job, a stable job, they don't qualify for a mortgage.
Yes. That's another.
That's an unfortunate fact. And
It's like a catch-22.
it's a
right?
catch-22. And here's another problem. Again, these are not fun topics to discuss, and I'm not calling anybody out, but there are whole industries which survive on securing mortgages for those individuals who do not qualify based on the income that they truly have. So there's fraudulent documents going through. It's a system which is broken to the core. Broken to the core.
So now my question is, let's reverse this 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What was happening then that the housing market was so, that's such a boom?
Well, 4 or 5 years ago was COVID.
No problem, but
Right.
Where was the money coming from? Where was
4 or 5 years ago,
the affordability coming from?
the affordability, unfortunately, is not the sticker price anymore. So what is done to sell things, no one's going to go out and say, you know what, here's a brand new car, it's $80,000, but when you add all the taxes, you add everything on the road, it costs you $92,000. They're not going to tell you that. What they're going to sell you is it's $100 a week. $100 a week for 84 months. And that's where they catch you. That's the trap.
Right.
The trap is they're not telling you you're paying for that $80,000 car, which on the road is $92,000, but after you pay all the interest for those $100 a week over the 84 months that you have it, that car just costs you $137,000.
Right.
Right? No one talks about that. Everyone is talking about, can they make that basic monthly, bi-weekly,
Right.
weekly payment? And that goes back to educating our youth from the school system and making them financially literate, so they know that if they're going to be duped into $100 a week, what it really means.
Right.
Right? We also, this is such a large topic. We could do, I believe, we could do a series of podcasts, a mini series
Right.
of 6 to 8 podcasts on this, because this is so vastly encompassing.
Right.
Right? There's no easy solution. You and I have always maintained one thing, that we are always going to look at things in a positive light.
Right.
We will never call out a political entity,
Right.
a party, a political viewpoint, a politician, a bureaucrat.
That's not our intent.
That's not our intent. Our intent.
And we know they're all working hard, right?
Listen, they're doing the best they can. I don't have all the information that the government has.
Yeah.
I'm not privy to it. Right?
But we're just talking about what we see on the ground.
What we see on the ground.
Yes.
Right? But one hope I do have is that our leaders,
Yes.
our elected officials, I hope they know what is going on the ground.
Right.
They need to know the pain the average Canadian is having.
Yes. I agree with you.
And when they see that pain, regardless of the political party they represent, regardless of anything, I am confident they will do their level best to solve the problem. But they gotta understand, it's a big problem.
I feel the hurt. I genuinely do. I feel the hurt for the average Canadians. Too many conversations are being had. People are not being able to make ends meet. And it bothers me. It hurts me to see that. Because I honestly interact with so many people on a daily basis. And as you can see, this topic's taking a toll on me too.
Yeah.
I hate to see this. Because people leave for a better future, for a dream, for their kids, for their families, and again, this is nobody's fault, but the Canadian economy's come to like a standstill. I'm seeing jobs being taken right off the radar, man. I'm seeing like grocery prices spike. I'm seeing gas prices spike. It's just like airlines are becoming unaffordable. As a businessman, you look at this and you're like, you don't feel the pinch as much. But as a middle class individual or a common individual is working 8 to 10 hours, even 2 jobs, and they're still struggling to make ends meet, like this hurts. This one hurts.
I believe Canadians deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money in their pocket.
They deserve better.
They definitely do. They definitely do deserve better. These are some unfortunate facts that I'm going to spell out for you. Very rarely, when a price of a good or service goes up, does it come down. Maybe in technology it does. When flat screen TVs were introduced, they were very expensive, but as time went on, because of the technology, the price did go down. But do not expect that the cost of milk, bread, eggs will go down substantially. It won't. It may not go up as much. So this is the new bar.
No problem. But then why is affordability struggling on everything else then?
Because there's at the end of the day, what is happening is prices of everyday essential items are going up. What are everyday essential items? I believe food. Food is essential. It's important. You can't live without it.
No.
Shelter.
Yes.
You need shelter. Clothing. You need clothing. Education. If you have children who you have to get educated. Those are important. I'm not even talking about recreational activities which are good for your mental health.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about basic primary needs that a living human being has.
Right.
The cost of all of those have gone up, but have wages kept in pace with that increase in expenditure? And the answer is no. Why not? Well, one of the reasons for that is because a lot of Canadian businesses have, because of certain programs, they have labor which is a little bit cheaper to get from abroad, and they don't have the elasticity to keep on paying more and more to their employees. So it becomes, again, you're between a rock and a hard place.
It's a hard spot.
It's a very hard spot, and we cannot expect any level of government to come and take out their magic wand and say, okay, bang, we're going to fix this. They can't do that. Governments can't just all of a sudden say, okay, you know what? Our system is based on certain tax revenue. We're going to decrease taxes 30%. Well, the governmental revenue is going to go down as well.
Right.
Right? Yes, I'm in complete agreement that you can find governmental efficiencies, and you must. And you must. But can you find them to a significant point where, unless something dramatic happens, will you make a massive change in the lives of Canadians? I don't see that happening
Right.
in the near future.
I don't know what to say.
Well, listen, I don't know what to say either, but I do have some ideas which I think could be helpful.
Right.
Listen, President Trump, his whole proposal with tariffs is that he wants to get everyone
On the same playing field.
on the same playing field, and he wants America to collect tariffs, and the revenue he generates through that, he wants to give Americans a tax break. In fact, this is a game changer. In fact, he has gone on the record to say that if the tariffs work the way he's believing, he will get rid of federal income tax for anyone earning up to $200,000 US a year.
Wow, if that really is put into place, that's a game changer.
If that is put into place,
That's like somebody getting taxed.
what will Canadians wish to do?
The same.
Smart, educated, brilliant Canadians, young.
They're moving abroad.
You think they're staying in Canada? I don't think so. So Canada has to learn from some of the greatest Canadians of all time. One of them, my favorite, I always quote him, is Wayne Gretzky. Don't look at where the puck is. Look at where it's about to go. Look at what other countries are going to do to make it more attractive to go there, to invest there, to set up shop there. Canada wants to play game? Then let's be competitive. Let's offer people crown lands up in north, which I believe Pierre Poilievre stated this, up north where we already know the temperature is cold. We have all this land which isn't being used, but we also know that all these data centers, all these AI centers, they need these cold places for their hubs. Let's use crown land, have a private company go there, public-private enterprise works together, and the money we generate from that, let's use that and nationalize it and put that back into the pockets of Canadians. How about we take our natural resources, like they have in some of the Baltic countries, and you nationalize those.
Right.
You nationalize the treasures God has given Canada, and you nationalize it, and you take that money and you put it into the following. You decrease taxes for Canadians.
Right.
You decrease taxes for corporations.
So that'll attract more jobs here.
Right? So it attracts more companies to come here. You increase your funding to research and development. You make new industries here, which Canada, it's a beautiful country.
Yes.
Why don't we have a department which is concentrating on increasing Canadian tourism?
Yeah.
We're a beautiful country. We're a safe country. We have three coasts. I believe we have 5 or 6 time zones. Why don't we take advantage of what we have? Because nobody has that visionary thought to say, listen, this is what I have. How do I take the most advantage of it?
Right.
These are the policies which, again, I mentioned Prime Minister Carney, a Liberal. I mentioned Pierre Poilievre, a Conservative. Doug Ford, a Conservative. These policies, all of us, we work together, and we have the Premier of Manitoba. I forget his name. I apologize, but he is a
Premier Weep.
Yes, he is one of the smartest guys I've ever seen. He's from the NDP. He talks about nationalization projects. We need those types of leaders in our nation. And that's what's going to happen. Like, if we think that way, I'm telling you, it's a cycle. We can break out of it.
You bought a little smile on my face. Because I like solutions. I think we have... Everybody sees we got problems.
Yes.
Everybody's seeing that the house is kind of broken.
Yes.
And let's put it together.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I am confident that we have great individuals. We have bright individuals.
Yes.
Some individuals are not public servants as of yet. Some are. We work together for our country, for our nation. It's just a matter of time. But we have to work together.
So if you're the Minister of Finance, what would you do?
Minister of Finance.
Yeah, to uplift this country. Short and sweet, you know?
I don't believe any Minister of Finance can make anything short and sweet. I believe it's it's the toughest.
Long-term plans.
It has to be a long-term plan. It has to be. I personally believe that the Minister of Finance is that ministry which perhaps is even bigger than the Premier's office or the PMO.
The reason why I said this, sorry to interrupt you, is because you've got such a knack for numbers. You're so educated. You've gone through different realms of education, and I feel like it'd be an honor to have somebody like you in space. I just think things need to change.
They do need to change.
And I mean, I know you don't have any political vest now, but hey, listen, who says it can't be down the line? So yes, Dr. Sabharwal, I really appreciate your thought process on this. I think you've done so brilliant. Sorry for my engagement level to be low on this podcast, because I'm seeing a lot of families and they're affected. And for me, that's tough.
Absolutely it is.
Right? I mean, giving somebody $100, $200, it's such a it's not even a band-aid solution. For me, like, nobody wants to be in that situation.
Absolutely.
And I believe in solutions. I believe in working together.
I agree.
I believe in elevating people.
Absolutely.
And that's key for me. I believe as a Canadian family, we need to get together and uplift one another.
I am in complete agreement with you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Sabharwal.
Thanks, Vrind.
And for coming on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Love it.